did there. I look different now from the previous video. Welcome back, or welcome, whether you watch the intro video, I don't know, but welcome to the first official video of this South Bank Wolves YouTube page. Yeah, we're going to be going over my starting 11 for the Leicester City game, which is next weekend. And then it's going to go transpire to what different formations we can have and my strongest 11. I did a video, well, I just did a recording of one, but I waffled. I've got to get used to the whole compacting it down. I do love to talk about football, so it's one of them where I've got to sort of, stop waffling. So yeah, let's crack on because I'll end up waffling now. So in goal, obviously, I've picked Jose Sarr. Jose Sarr definitely been the straight-up replacement for Rui Patricio. Can't see John Ruddy being the number one. So yeah, it picks itself. Jose Sarr, the guy from Olympiacos, definitely number one. And Kolakimi has given him the blessing of the number one shirt, which is brilliant to see. So yeah, all the best, Jose. We are right behind you, literally, if you are in the South Bank. Yeah, the left back position. Now this is I'll probably waffle a bit here, but you've obviously got Ryan Aït-Nouri and you've got Marçal, and then Johnny will be back in December, I think it is, maybe just after. Now this position is going to be interesting. I think Ryan Aït-Nouri's got to be the starter, mainly because Marçal is very unreliable with his fitness. Marçal has just played 5 games in a row, which surely is a club record for him. So yeah, Ryan Aït-Nouri has to start, in my opinion. And we saw last season that he was growing into the league, and he became what I thought was a very comfortable and established Premier League left back by the end of the season. Obviously, there's things he'll improve, and that's just natural. For a player being so young, it's only natural that he'll get better and better, and he's not the finished article now. So, in my opinion, he has to start as left back, and then when Johnny comes back in, that's going to be the proving point of who actually be the established one. I can't see Marçal being anywhere near starting lineup when Johnny's back. That's the issue I have with him. I think it was good business for a backup. It just depends on how much he's on a week, I guess, which I don't know. The centre-backs. Now this is a definite talking point because we all know that Wolves are crying out for at least 2 centre-backs, in my opinion. Right, Conor Coady has to be in there, and whether he continues to be there next season is another question. Look, everyone seems, I say everyone, a lot of people seem to be very critical of Conor, and I don't understand why. You don't fluke 2 7th place positions as a centre back. He was doing something right and continued to do that. Last season, I thought Nuno shafted him big time, and anyone who's played in a defensive position, whether it be at a professional level or whether it be at an amateur level Sunday League, if your centre-back partner keeps changing week in, week out, that is going to shaft you. You don't know how to play. You don't have that connection. You don't have that, what's the word? Familiarity. You know what I mean. With who your partner is. Coady was 1 week you'd be with Dendoncker, and then you'd be with Saïss, and then you'd have Kilman, and then Saïss, and then you'd have Kilman, Dendoncker, and it's just like there was just no constant setup with our back line. Every week it changed, and then it'd be a 4 at the back, then it'd be a 5 at the back, or 3 at the back, whatever you want to call it. There was just no solidity, and the only 2 that remained were Rui and Coady, and that's not good enough. Unfortunately, that is not good enough. And obviously, when Bolly came back, you'd have Bolly as well. We get Bolly. There was just no there was just no solidity in that back line, and I felt sorry for Cody because he was getting shafted week in, week out with it constantly changing to a 4, to a 5, to a 4, to a 5, to a 5, to a 4. So you've got to give Cody the benefit of the doubt, and he gets a lot of flack, and the only mistake I remember him making really was against Liverpool when he made that mistake and let Salah in and scored. But yeah. Next to him I've got Kilman. Kilman has to be the player who is next to him. He's the best centre-back in the club right now who is fit, other than Mosquera, but I think Mosquera needs time to be bedded in, especially to the Premier League. The guy looks a beast. I do like him. He looks like a thug. I reckon he'll fit beautifully in the Premier League. But you've got to slowly embed him, and I don't think putting him in straight away is the right thing to do. I could be wrong, but I think that Cody and Kilman are the best two for the time being, especially with Bolly being out injured. Right back has to be Semedo. I love Keanu Hoover, but Semedo, he is the better of the right backs at the moment. So I have gone with that forward back. You will see that I've gone for 2 holding, 3 attacking, 1 striker. So the 2 holding is going to be Moutinho on the one side. Has to be João. I think he gets a bit of flack, but I do believe that there's still more to come from João, and he's proven that at the Euros. Moutinho did. When Moutinho came into that Portuguese squad, replacing Fernandes, Portugal looked a hell of a lot better. And I think if we take him out of the Wolves side, we're going to not be as strong. Obviously, next to him we'll have Neves, the fans' captain now, surely. Everyone adores Neves, and he's becoming a bit of a cult hero within the ranks. I absolutely love Neves. I'm not using to brag, but I knew about Neves before he joined Wolves, and him being at Porto, the youngest ever Champions League captain, and the long distance goal. So when we signed him, I was ecstatic. I mean, I've got the Puma shirt. Can't think what brand it was then. The Puma away shirt with Neves on the back. Straight away when I saw that, I'm like, that's my shirt. Proper fanboyed over him back then. I think we all still do now. I wouldn't be surprised if he became captain, especially if we signed 2 centre backs. But yeah, Neves, I think with the shackles off, I mean, we saw against Celta Vigo, shackles off, him allowing to ping balls left, right and centre like he did in his first 2 seasons at Wolves. It just opens up avenues for more goals. It really does, and yeah, that'll be great if we can get that side of Neves back and the goal scoring side of Neves, which we love. So yeah, we've gone with the 3 attacking midfielders. So I've gone with Morgan, Gibbs, White, and you're probably thinking, why Morgan? I think he's had a great pre-season. I really do. I think he's had a fantastic pre-season. And he's got a chance now to shine and prove to some doubters, because I was a doubter. I really was a doubter 6 months ago. I just didn't think he was cutting it. I thought he was too indulged with his girlfriend, with the social media side of life, and the whole thing with the Swansea loan not going very well. No, to be fair, Swansea loan did go very well, but he got injured, didn't he? And yeah, but it's just one of them. I want to see him thrive, and I hope to see him thrive now. So yeah, Morgan has got the chance to prove his doubters wrong, and I hope he does that in style. Right hand side has got to be Adama. I'm hoping this season Adama just gives that a little bit more. I hope we see a few more goals and a few more assists. And I tell you now, right, if he does, he'll get that contract that he wants. I sort of feel like Adama does not want to be at Wolves at times, and I think that he thinks that he's better than Wolves. That's the issue I have with Adama. And I don't know how that would go for him at a bigger club, because I think with Wolves he's got what he would truly want in how he plays, whereas if he goes to a bigger club, I think he'll struggle to get what he wants, and I think he'll be used more as an impact sub, which I know if he wants to move and be a starter. So yeah, in the middle Trincao. Now, if people don't know much about Trincao is, I'll tell you now, that is a signing. Now, don't get me wrong, Wolves have been slagged off for their transfer policy and their transfer windows over the past seasons, but Trincao is a steal, and I think that we've got him for two reasons. One, because we paid 40 million for Semedo, and I think that was a favour, and the return favour is now Trincao, and the price that we're going to get him at, 25 million. It's a steal. He should not be a player leaving Barcelona right now. He should be a player thriving at Barcelona. He should be a player that should be getting touted as one of the next best attacking midfielders to come from Barcelona. Well, I say from Barcelona, from Braga to Barcelona. But you know how like a player grows and stuff. You know what I mean. Yeah, I think let Trincao grow into this league and you'll see that we have got one hell of a player. One hell of a player on our books. Obviously, the striker situation, it's Raul. And I'm glad to see Raul back, and I'm banking on Raul getting 20 goals this season. 20. 5 with his head. But now, as I'm going to show you now, we can change the formation up. So if we take Morgan out at the side, we can go into a 4-2-2-2. So we'll have the two attacking midfielders behind the two strikers where they can flex to either be narrow or wide. Obviously that would be Trincao and Adama for the time being, and we stick Fabio Silva up top. Fabio is going to get 8 goals this season. 8. Which you're probably thinking, it's not a good return. But is it really? Because if he's going to be playing from off the bench most of the season, which he will, unless we start with the two, he's going to be averaging about half hour each week, which is good for him, really. And 8 goals for that in the whole season, it ain't too bad. So plus he's a young kid, and a player at his age in the Premier League, he's doing well, and people forget that players, established Premier League strikers nowadays, like your Harry Kane's, your Mohamed Salah's, go back to like your Aguero's as well. Players when they were that age, 18, they were not doing that or doing what Fabio Silva is doing. So a bit of perspective. We've got a hell of a player on, and we've all learnt that it's a Jeff Shee signing. No way was that Nuno, it was a Jeff Shee signing. I think it'll pay off, but I don't want this to be the precedent going forward where it's a Jeff Shee signing. I've always... Well, let's go on to the next part, because the next part I've got... There's going to be a different... Like, you'll see. So basically, the next part is the centre-backs. Mosquera could easily replace Cody. We have Neves as the captain. Obviously, you'll have Bolly. Bolly coming back in, he can replace Kilman. This potentially could be a centre-back partnership going forward, but we're yet to see, really. But I know a lot of people, including myself, are excited to see Mosquera. He looks like a thug, and I think he'll suit the Premier League down to a T, as I've mentioned. But yeah, right, the Cutrone situation. Now, it's now known that Cutrone, well, it's evident that Cutrone wants to leave Wolves. But are Wolves going to sell him, or are we going to keep him for this season? Because he has played a hell of a lot of football for a player who, if they're getting rid of, it's a bit strange. However, and I've put this on the Southbank Wolves Instagram page before, and I've always put it on Twitter, and I'm going to quote myself on Twitter, but Cutrone and 25 million, get Belotti in, what a bit of business that would be. Imagine if Cutrone gets to go back to Italy, he's happy. Belotti, you're selling the dream of winning European football now. If we had someone like Belotti, I do believe that we could seriously be pushing for a European place again. I just don't understand why Wolves are so obsessed with this Football Manager style database of 25,000 players, which they've approached none of them because the circumference of their fucking nutsack doesn't match the rest of the side. Fuck your stupid database off and just use your noggins, use your head, use your eyes. No one cares about like the personalities. Are they going to fit? That doesn't win you games. It frustrates me that they're spending all these hours on players, and it's just wasted hours. Wasted. just get some established players in. Everyone has seen Belotti play because he played for Torino in a sellout against Wolves at home, and he scored an absolutely cracking header. And when I saw that, that was really the first I'd really sort of discovered Belotti. And I was thinking to myself, like, he suits the Premier League perfectly. Get him in. And that deal, literally, is so obvious it's untrue. Just spend some of the money, and you're not going to make your money back with Cutrone. That's inevitable. He's not done enough at anywhere he's been. So just use him as part of a clause to buy someone who we reckon can do the bits, can do the business, can get us goals. Ain't going to throw a tantrum because he's not on starting lineup. Gee. Yeah. Anyway. Next is Dendoncker. Dendoncker is probably the next established player to come into the centre midfield, especially if Moutinho is going to be seeing out his contract, which is what I'm hearing. Moutinho is seeing out his contract at Wolves and will be leaving at the end of next season, probably to go back to Porto or Sporting. I don't know where, but that's the word on the street, that he's going to be leaving at the end of the end of next season, or end of this season now, I guess. So yeah, you got to give. Dendoncker had a great first season for us. I thought he was brilliant. Oh well, it was half a season, but there's more to come from Leander, and I think he just needs to up his game just a little bit more in the goals and assist department. Otherwise, we do need another centre midfielder, especially if Otasowie is leaving now. Which, to be fair, if you've got a player who thinks he's fucking Billy Big Bollocks like that, get rid of him. I rate him as a player, but clearly he thinks he's better off elsewhere. So yeah, let's see how he fares, I guess. Now I'm going to show you my strongest 11. If everyone's fit now, I've done this pre in advance, and I haven't included Johnny. So I've still got Ryan Aitner in there, but Johnny would be in there. So. Oh, well, it depends on how fit Johnny is and how he comes back. I'm hoping he comes back bigger, better, stronger than ever. But as you can see, that front four is... Pedro, Adama, Trincao, and Raul. Come on, you're telling me that's not that's not, I was going to say Champions League, Europa League at least, front four. That just goes to show that behind them at the defence, that's where we need to improve the most. That front four is phenomenal. That front four is scary. That front four will get you goals left, right and centre. And to go on, you're forgetting the likes of Daniel Podence. Now, Podence has got a bit of a bad rep, and I think that's come with his little Instagram rants, his poor performances, but we knew that he was now injured for those games, which explains a lot. But also, I think he's got a bit of a bad rep, and it partly wasn't his fault, but it was the fact that he was the player that was chosen over Dani Olmo, which was probably the wrong decision. However, Podence, when some games, he looked like the player that we actually needed. Like, especially that game against Everton when we beat them 3-0 now, 2 seasons ago. He just looked a player that we needed. He ran at defences, he scared the hell out of them. And he looked strong. For a little guy, he looked strong. And I think if we can get a fully fit Daniel Podence again, we could be looking at another player who can seriously be contending for a starting position. So give him time. That is my 11, my Leicester 11, the transitions that we can use, and also my strongest. Hope you liked the video. Obviously, starting 11s, they cause conversation, to say the least. So write down in the comments below what you think the starting 11 should be, what our strongest 11 should be. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, man. It's hard to do. I've got to get used to this whole YouTube thing. But I hope you stick around for the ride, and there'll be more videos coming. You'll see another one in a minute, or whenever you want to watch it. So yeah, peace out, guys, and thank you for watching. Peace and love.